Well, it is 14th of Feb. It's a Wednesday, but it is Valentine's Day. It's the day of love. It's the day of hope. It's also a day to recover for those who are apparently not in love as well. So we thought we'll do a full show dedicated only to love, different kinds of love. Love in the times of dating apps, love which is janam janam ka pyar, forever in love, love जो एक बहुत famous phrase है, प्यार दोस्ती है, that kind of love. And also, for all you single people out there, Valentines is big. What to do if you're not in love? We've got a really action-packed and also, if I may say, a very musical show lined up for you. So without any further ado, let's give you a glimpse. Love in the time of online dating and algorithms, 2024 dating trends. What exactly are they like? What is Val-core dating and what is timeline decline? The communications director for Bumble in India joins us for some fascinating insights. Singer Usha Uthup's idea of timeless love. From Ramba Ho to Darling and now Flowers, the Grammy-winning song. How does she keep her love for music ageless and also relevant? Also, our Valentine's couple this morning, Sakshi Sindwani and Raghav Arora. This was Bachpan Ka Pyar that translated into a fairy tale wedding for this social media influencer couple. They join us to tell us their secret to keep it relevant in the times when everything is so public, so social. And dating after the age of 30, well, we've got two stand-up comedians for you. They are really funny. So Siddharth and Vanika are going to be with us. They're called the Breakup Girl and the Love Guru, and they'll share their insights with you. All right, let's start with something rather fascinating that has come to us this Valentine's Day. While we were researching for the program, the one thing that was on the mind of all producers on the show as well was, well, how does love really happen in the time of online dating? And then we figured we had to capture on what is online dating all about and is there love or certain other things that are going on over there. So we looked into some data and Bumble helped us with that. They told us that this is the year of what they call clarity for the year of self. Bumble's research actually shows that more than 59% of Indian women who were surveyed are going into the new year with a very clear view of what they want from their romantic lives. These dating trends actually can be summed up into two words. And very fascinating. One is Val-core dating, the other one is timeline decline. What exactly are they? Let's cut across to our guest now who's going to give us more insight into that. Hi, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you? Happy Valentine's Day.
Yes, to you too. I'm so happy when two women can wish each other Valentines as well. It's not just about men in our life. It's about how and what we do for self-love as well. So, Samarpita is the Indian Communications Director for Bumble in India, and she helped us understand these really fascinating trends. So, without any waiting, I really want to understand what is Val-core dating. Can you shed some light?
Yes. So from our research, we found that singles today are looking for shared priorities and shared interest and expect their partners to not only care about their passion and beliefs and social causes included, but to actively engage with them. And this is a trend that we are calling Val-core dating at Bumble. This basically refers to the rise of Gen Z and millennials valuing engagement on issues that matter to them. We found that 1 in 4 people on Bumble in India say it is key that their partner not only engages in social causes that they believe in, but also, have shared priorities when it comes to issues that matter to them. In fact, when it comes to dating, our research shows that the most important social cause that Indians want their partners to believe in is human rights issues. In fact, women in particular say that it is important for them that their partner has the same passion in the beliefs that they have, which is very refreshing to see.
Yeah, it's quite fascinating. So, unlike what people think about online dating, basically, which is swipe left or swipe right only on looks, only on that picture, it's beyond that, you're saying. People, and especially women, since they take control on Bumble, they feel they should be with people who they can match sort of in ideas, in philosophy, in what they stand for, their value system as well. That's why Valcore, how fascinating. The next one is even better, and I like it a little more. It's called timeline decline. Tell us more about that.
So we are calling it timeline decline, which is a dating trend, again based on our research that we found, which is gaining popularity in India. Which the trend spotlights how women are opting out of traditional timelines and milestones when it comes to relationships. And by that, I mean, we are often, more than often, pressured to settle down, so to say, get married, have kids within a certain time frame. But women in India are, opting out of that. They're saying that, in fact, 24% of women surveyed in India say that they're not going to adhere to, traditional specific timelines. They want to be honest and upfront with their partners about their goals, what they want to do. And the top 2 reasons are, financial independence, prioritizing their careers. And by this, it's not like women are saying, I don't want to get married or I don't want to find a partner. Majority of women in India still want and definitely want a long-term relationship, but they want to take their own time and date at their own pace, on their own terms, and which is very... I would say this is a significant shift that we are seeing, which is quite encouraging because, whether you think of specifically, say, the Shadi season or festivals when women, go back home and then you have your neighborhood auntie or, extended family asking you, oh, you're turning XYZ age.
Kya plans hai?
हाँ मतलब शादी कोई मिला क्या, which puts pressure, and women are actually saying that, hey, there's no specific age by which I have to do all of that, so I just want to be...
I think there was a phrase that I was lucky enough, and my dad told me this long time ago when I was a teenager. And like I said, I'm lucky to have parents like that. And he said that there is no right age. There is always the right man to get married to. And I think that's what is finding resonance in women, which is so encouraging. But Samarpita, I have to ask you this, right? And let you in on a little secret also. So I have massive FOMO when it comes to online dating. This entire millennial generation grew on it. I found love pretty early. So I never went through that phase. So I have massive FOMO. But my friends who have been on these apps, and not just Bumble, various others, and now India is a market for that, right? Post-pandemic, there's a massive boom as well. People are finding more and more people online. The pandemic actually sort of did that to all of us. They say it's a pain. They say it is so hard to find people. It is so hard to just, meet someone through these apps as well. There is a word of caution as well, if I can say that. So what are some of the things? Is the industry cognizant of that? Are you guys discussing this amongst yourself?
Absolutely. At Bumble, we believe that when the world is better for women, it's better for everyone. And safety is our topmost priority. So there are we have a robust suite of, safety features. One specifically, which is a geography specific India feature, it's called First Initial. So which means that a woman can, create a Bumble date profile with just the first initial of her name, which also adds those, safeguards for her as well, which I think is quite helpful. And overall, as times have moved, and just in IRL dating, like in-person dating as well, it is not easy. Sometimes, sometimes you can find someone very quickly and you click and you vibe and if you have shared priorities, then you get to have a life partner, and sometimes you just have to.
And I'm throwing you in the spot there. How many of these people on Bumble at this point, can you give me a brief idea or a ballpark figure of how many of those actually translate into marriages? We're not talking about how good, bad, ugly marriages they are, but how much of it translates into finding home with someone?
No, especially post-pandemic, like you were mentioning, there are so many success stories, and on Bumble you define your success, right? Like for someone, it might mean if they're they don't know, they're not sure, and they're looking to have a good time and meet new people. For them, just going on great dates is great success. But then we also have couples who have met each other, for example, post their divorces and found a partner and companionship. And then there are people who have who lived in different parts of the country, and they met each other and first dated virtually and then met in person, and then got married and have babies. We have so many Bumble babies around the world even. So it matters if you know what exactly you're looking for, and then how you want to date. So which is what our trends are also saying, right?
Well, love is love. It doesn't matter at what age. It doesn't matter in what situation. As long as you feel you find a home in someone. So that was good fun. I think we should come back to this segment and do more about what these dating trends are. Like I said, I have massive FOMO. I really want to find out what's happening. So in fact, to all our viewers watching, if you have questions, good, bad, ugly against Bumble, do write into us. We'll take all of them to her and let us see what are the responses there. Thanks so much for joining us again and sharing your Valentines with us.
Thank you.
All right, so that was about online dating, but let's step back a little bit and shift gears to a very timeless kind of love. On the show, like I said, we are covering different kinds of love today. So joining us on TBC next is everybody's favorite, certainly one of my favorite. She remains ageless and how, she remains timeless and how. And if you weren't convinced about it, well, you have to hear her singing Miley Cyrus's latest song that won her a Grammy. Usha Uthup, welcome to TBC. So glad to have you here. Like I said, it is only you can transition from Koi Yahan Nache Nache to Miley Cyrus's Flowers. You have done it for so many decades now. How do you keep it so relevant and keep it so alive?
Well, first of all, let me say it's wonderful to be with you on CBC. Namaskar, namaskaram, sat sri akal, salam alaikum. I'm so excited to be with you. What can I say? Because this is such an important thing in my life, really. And I'm sure all of you would agree that, as you said, decades, 54 years of singing some song like Fever, and then California Dreaming, and then, so many songs. And then suddenly you do Miley Cyrus's Flowers. But actually, it's not like that. I've always believed that a song is a song, and it's timeless no matter what. And actually, retro is where it's at now. People all want to hear recall. And in my show list, it's always been that the older songs get more get people
Yeah.
more energized
Yeah.
than the newer ones. Now, Flowers, and of course, songs with lyrics, okay? There was a time when I Will Survive was a breakup song for every girl, right? And Gloria Gaynor's song. I was on my top on my list actually in the batting order. It would have been third or fourth in the show. Then slowly what happened was newer songs came, or I started singing Dawn too because I'd sung in that. Then I'd done Bulea, and of course, Dam Maro Dam and I Love You remain a constant. Okay, it's always there. So when my daughter Anjali told me, she just sent me a recording of what she had done. Okay, of Flowers, and I just thought it was such a marvelous piece of
Indeed.
song
Yeah.
that and she told me that, Amma, why don't you do it as well? So when Anjali told me about this song, I just thought it was such a brilliant piece of lyric, really. I just loved the lyrics. We were right till we weren't. That line just says so many things.
Does.
Built a home and saw it burn. There are some songs that really give me goosebumps just thinking about the lyric. And then when it says, why do we depend on everybody else to do things for us or make us feel good? And this one is not really a breakup song. It's such a positive song of Nari Shakti, really. Nari Shakti, Stree Shakti, and woman power, really. And on this Valentine's Day, I would definitely say that it's not just for the women; it's for the men as well. Why do we need somebody else to buy us flowers? Why do we need that? Or why do we need someone else to talk to for hours? Why don't we do it with ourselves? And, there are so many positive feelings in this song that it just became marvelous. So it came onto my repertoire list for the shows about maybe 2 months ago. And whoever thought that she was going to get a Grammy for this, and my rendition would become viral, was really, really thankful and full of gratitude to my followers, and shall I say to my, not followers, to my supporters who've supported my music and loved me as I am.
Loved you. We all love you. And I'm actually loving how it's early in the morning, but you are all in your avatar. I'm loving the red on you like right now. I'm also loving that red bindi. All of this is quite marvelous, like you said. But you've had quite a year, ma'am. You just got the Padma. Your songs are viral. I really want to understand, what is your mantra to keeping it relevant, to staying so enthusiastic about life and your love for music, even at this age?
My mantra is to be able to accept that you have to make time your friend, not fight with time. I think if you make time your friend and realize that the youth are the future of our, of our whole life, without the youth, we're going absolutely nowhere. So I think that focus has to be there. And once you get that focus, that the youth, you are our future, then I think things, the jigsaw puzzle kind of gets neater, and you're not so puzzled anymore. Because I have noticed that even a song like Koi Yahan Aha Nache Nache, which was my song, Dekhte Dekhte, it's already 40 years since that song came.
40,
or
imagine.
Ramba Ho. So one needs time for something to become a classic. And you can't become a classic just overnight. It's not possible. And so there are certain songs which even great composers like R.D. Burman and all were not appreciated in their time. But today, he's one of the most remixed and remixed, musicians of all time. And I think that is what it's all about. When you realize that and accept that a song is always bigger than the singer. Because the song will keep coming back over and over again if you give it life. Whichever song it is. Like, how can something like, say, Hotel California, or Can't Buy Me Love, or I Can Get No Satisfaction, or all these old songs, how do they're all my contemporaries, okay? Almost all of them, the Beatles or Rolling Stones, or shall I say, some of them are much older than I, but their songs will live on forever. right?
Yeah.
So I think that is what is important, to realize that you are truly just an instrument to carry that forward to the future generation. And don't
Beautiful.
think of everything as I, me, myself. No, it doesn't happen like that. For a singer or for an artist, it's that song, whichever song it is and whosever song it is. Like if I sing in my shows these days, I still sing Ajeeb Daasta Hai Ye, and I make it a woman's song, and I say, and I it's ancient, the song, but everybody in my audience sings it
Yeah.
along with me.
Yeah.
And all the little twists and turns that I take when I'm talking to them, and or when I'm doing Bindiya Chamkegi, for example. I always say it's a woman's song. And, the lyrics before I start singing, I explain to them that, see, if you want something, you have to ask for it, whatever it is. Don't leave it to the other person. So if you say, Maine tujhse mohabbat ki hai, gulami nahi ki balma.
I, I actually can listen to you for hours and hours, ma'am, but I have to ask you that we're talking on Valentine's Day. What is your idea of love? And what is that song that perhaps denotes love for you? And if you can hum a few lines for us in your style.
For me, it's, I mean, I don't mean to sound like a cliche, but the fact is, for me, every day is Valentine's Day.
Kya baat hai?
I can find romance in anything, in everything, and I'm a complete romantic, really. If it's raining, I find romance in that. If it's really hot, I find romance. I can find romance in anything. And now Valentine's Day means something very, very special for me. So I would say the perennial lines would be, where do I begin to tell the story of how great a love can be? The sweet love story that is older than the sea. The simple truth about the love you bring to me. Where do I start? And if I were to say
Beautiful.
in Hindi, one of the most jealous songs, I love it so much because I'm such a jealous human being. Yeah? One of those is हमें तुमसे
Oh,
प्यार कितना ये हम नहीं जानते मगर जी नहीं सकते तुम्हारे बिना. And I really feel like, I cry every time I sing this song because there's a line which says, "Tumhe koi aur dekhe, to jalta
तो
hai dil."
जलता है
It's
दिल.
so simple. It's such a simple line, and it touches all our hearts. Yeah. So in the middle of a jazz concert or something like that, I put in this song, and everybody relates. Everybody relates to it. So I would say that is I mean, for me, one of the most important love songs. Yeah.
Ma'am, I have to say you're more Gen Z than anybody I have met. You stay up to date. You are a true romantic. You love to make people smile. So thank you very, very much for everything that you do. But I can't let you go without having you sing Flowers for us, the song that is so viral and everybody is listening to it, including Miley Cyrus. So कुछ लाइनें हो जाए अगर.
Yes, and I think that's been one of my amazing. I was just in Trinkas, that's on Park Street, restaurant where I started singing, and I just it was, as I told you, it's on my list, on my repertoire list. I couldn't believe that it could
Oh man. Oh man, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing your Valentines with us. Thank you for everything that you're doing. Thank you for all the love and joy that you give to people through your music and just by being who you are. Thanks so much. Loved having you on the show.
And thank you so much. And I also want to say thank you to my country and to my government for giving me the Padma Bhushan. That's been really a highlight of my life, really. And really something I'm very, very proud and grateful for.
All right, so on TBC this morning, we are bringing you a lot of love stories and a lot of people behind those love stories as well. Our next guest is somebody who I'm sure all of you have seen on social media, unless you're living under a rock, that is, she's somebody who has inspired the world with body positivity. She comes across as an icon, as a brand ambassador to embrace yourself, and self-love is her second word really. But how is love back at home? She is also somebody who got married. But before I go into those details, let me just introduce you straight away to our guest, Sakshi and Raghav, here with us on TVC. Good morning, how are you guys doing?
Good morning.
Very well, how are you?
Good, good, good. So I have lots to talk about because yours is a story which was, as I can say, bachpan ka pyar that went into this fairy tale wedding that we all saw on Instagram. Yours is also a story of yin and yang. You guys are clearly the opposites of the little time that I have spent with the both of you, which is what I personally also want to understand. How does that dynamic work? But let's take it from the top. Let's go back to Sakshi and Raghav in school. I want to understand, how did it all start? Was it like they say, प्यार दोस्ती है, ऐसे शुरू हुआ था कि कैसे शुरू हुआ था?
That was our thing. We had there was a letter during my haldi which said प्यार दोस्ती है, and it had 5 reasons why प्यार दोस्ती है in our life, literally during a wedding. And I think that's something that we stand by. We're both Chandler and Monica.
But it's the same, yeah.
Yeah, but I think the deal is that people think I'm an extrovert and he's an introvert.
Yeah.
At home, he's an extrovert and I'm an introvert.
Ah, I see. Interesting.
Yeah, so you get to see 2 different sides, and it's not for people to enjoy, right? It's for us, and I think that's why it works. Imagine me being with a person who's as mad as I am.
Yeah, that will not work.
That will
not work.
But this is our 13th year together, right? Yeah.
13th year.
So I have to ask you the most conventional question that everybody asks. Ab to shaadi ho gayi, has anything changed? Has the love language changed after so many years of
No, I don't think so actually. I think it's pretty much the same. Actually, we were talking about this the other day, that people told us that after you get married, things change between the couple. And we were like, I still feel like I'm your boyfriend or I'm your fiance. I don't feel anything that has changed, other than I feel now that we are spending more time together because we're living together, I feel like we're more in love. I don't want to say that, but we are
connected.
Yeah, we are more connected. Than what we were while we were living in different houses.
It's like a roommate.
Yeah.
What are you saying?
It's
You
like a
guys are
best
not
friend
fighting
roommate.
over who gets to use the washroom
Not yet.
first
Not yet.
and
We had
why the
already
bed is
decided
messy and stuff like that. None of that is happening back
Not
home.
yet.
What
Not
is
yet.
this?
It's just been 8 days. Not yet. No.
But honestly, it's been 8 daes, but we decided this is a hack. So we've been together for so long. Of course, we've stayed together many days before that, and we just realized the same bathroom situation ain't gonna work. So the house that we've shifted into, it's just the both of us, and I think that also sets a little bit of a precedent in terms of how we want to live and carve out our life for ourselves. We're both family people. We love our families, but we also love our space. And I think it was time to become independent. हम दोनों के 2 different washrooms हैं.
Room एक है, washroom दो है.
Washroom 2 है.
That's the key to success. I'm telling you, the same applies in my house also, by the way. My husband has decided very nicely to take a separate washroom because we can't do this every morning at all.
Because we have the same time to get ready.
Yes. Yes.
And very different bathroom etiquettes, both of us.
We do not discuss this on national television.
I'm just joking.
No. I'm also very glad that Raghav has actually done his debut on television for the first time with us. Otherwise, we are told you're a very quiet person. I'm only getting to know now that at home the story is very different. But like I said, go back to the time when you guys were in school. I believe at that time in school, you go after looks, you go after popularity, you go after who's the girl that I really want to get after. I mean, it's just a little superficial at that age.
Yeah.
Was that was that the case with you guys as well, or how did it start?
No, actually, it's a funny story. We became friends because I got punished. I was speaking too much during a class, and our teacher changed my seat and made me sit next to her. That's how we.
I was a class topper.
Yeah.
That's why. A grade student.
That's how we actually started talking. That's how we became friends, and just happened. We just started sitting together after that. Just
Yeah.
regularly.
He was a charmer, I would say.
I see.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm told. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what started as friendship? When did love come into picture?
I honestly,
Never.
I just knew that he's liked me for too long, and he didn't have the guts to ask me.
Yeah.
So I'm like, in school, I literally asked him, "Do you like me?" And he said, "I think I do." And he said yes. And then he asked me back, and I took 11 days. 11 or 11 days
yeah.
to say that I like you back. I was very about it. he has to wait. He made me wait all this time. But he's never officially proposed to me. So the time that he proposed to me in Scotland for marriage was the first time that he has ever asked me out.
Wow. So I like you had to give him a bit of a nudge to say, excuse me, what's going on?
What's
Can
going
you
on?
please tell me?
But we just knew. I mean, I remember writing it literally in my journal. This was back in 11th grade that I'm going to end up with this guy. And that's what feels so unreal to me. That, you know, here we are 13 years later and we looked at each other. There is a very special moment. A lot of people know that he's cried during the entry, the bridal entry, and during the
I
Varmala.
made sure everybody knows that.
Yeah, everybody. But I asked him, I asked him during the night, and I asked him, why did you cry so much? I mean, I'm so happy that you cried because
Yeah.
it's just such a beautiful moment. But in that much, you could have lessened it down a little bit.
What did he say?
He said that all those 16,000 memories of you, ever since we were growing up, just came flashing before my eyes.
Yeah.
And I just saw you
Just while you were walking down the aisle.
But tell me, how does it work? When you guys have been friends for so long, you know ins and outs of the person. So there are two ways to look at it, right? One way is, of course, to say that there's nothing, there are going to be no surprises. The other part is, there are going to be no surprises. So many relationships today break because they say that they're bored or they're not finding it exciting, and people don't stand through, say, weeks, sometimes also, forget months.
Because
So
was a
what's
very-
the reason?
that
What's
was a
the
very
reason why?
School stage.
Yeah,
for
but like
us.
honestly, we continue evolving and changing very rapidly. But like our core remains the same, and we give each other space to grow. Like I'm not somebody who can be attached to his hip and insecure all the time, and neither is he. Like we, give each
I'll
other
come to
space.
that part in a while, but please go on. Yeah.
Yeah, but like we give each other space to grow in our own separate worlds. And we also understand that personal space is something which is so important for him and for me. And that we respect. So when we come together, and again, like we said, it's been 8 days, so we don't know how marriage works. And we're not possibly the best people to sort of answer that question. But like over the last, at least in the dating space, we've just realized that one long distance never works for us. I cannot stay without seeing him for more than 2 days. It freaks me out. And I think that's why. And I don't talk to him like, he's my devta or he's my karta dharta in life, I talk to him like he's my best friend. And that's... And
No, I'll tell you why I thought this will be a good question for you, because, I go back and a lot of my high school friends, when I meet them now, and it feels like I was such a different person then versus who I am now. Your life, Sakshi, has dramatically changed in the past 5 or 6 years, right?
Yeah.
To who you were versus now. Has that impacted the relationship at all, or how did that transition happening when you were just sort of shining in and everybody was discovering who's this girl, this is what we want to be? I have people lining up outside the studio saying that, listen, is Sakshi coming? I want a picture with her, my producer included. So how did you take it as a spouse, a sudden spark in popularity and a transition and a change and an evolution that she must have had in her journey?
I think it was pretty easy actually. I thought it would have been a little difficult, but I feel it just came naturally to her. And for me and her, I think she needed somebody like me to keep her grounded and just
That's true.
make things real. Just not the social media world is not the reality.
So let me ask you the question that I'm sure a lot of a lot of people have asked you. So what is it that she brings to your life? And don't say that in my boring life I have some spark. This answer everybody's done to death with. So you have to tell me the truth.
The first thing I would have said.
Yeah, that's why I figured.
But I think she brings in a lot of energy in my life. She keeps telling me that, Raghav, your life would have been so boring without me, right? I was like, when I think about it, yeah, because anything exciting that we do together or I do individually is somewhere related to her. Somewhere I feel like it would have been a lot different. It would have been a lot quieter. It would have been a lot more self-centered, and now it's just the two. It's just always been the two of us, and it's just always been
10 on 10
things we
answer,
do
10
together.
on 10. Very pageant-like answer we've got, but okay, we'll take it for now.
That's the truth. That's the truth. I feel that's the truth.
Okay, I will believe you, Raghav. We will talk after you've completed 9 years in marriage, and then we will talk. And I hope, but jokes apart, I really hope after several years of marriage, when I talk to you, this spark and this energy that you guys talk about is still there. But I want to wrap by asking you, what is your definition of love? And I want individual answers. What do you think is the meaning of love, and where do you think it comes from? How do you define love?
It's respect for me. It's respect, and it's mutual admiration, and it's also friendship. Friendship is very important. Love, I think love is something that it's a feeling. It's love is not lust. And it's not flickering all the time. Like it's not sparkling all the time. Sometimes it's flickering is what I meant. And I think if you're okay with that and you continue to like choose the other person every step of the way, good or bad, and and if you find home in that person, jo bhi ho jaye, idhar udhar jana hai, but you have to come back home. And that choice of not leaving, that's love.
I think she pretty much covered everything that I had to say. The only two things I would say would be that it's friendship for sure. I think that's probably one of the main things between us as two individuals, that for the last 12 years we've not been dating. We've been best friends, and I think that's just going to grow in the future. That we are just each other's best friends, the best version for each other that we can be. And home, as she said, I feel like after the whole day, I'm really looking forward to now just going back to our home. Earlier, it would have been like just after a couple of days, I need to go see her. It's just I'm living in my house, but it's just not home yet.
Yeah.
So I think it's home, the feeling of home, and the feeling of friendship.
बहुत अच्छा सिखाया आपने लड़के को, मानना
मैंने
पड़ेगा.
सिखाया भी नहीं.
Okay, on that note, this chapter of this interview on the program today will be called Pyar Dosti Hai, because that is what defines love for this gorgeous couple. They are recently married, they are madly in love. I can see there are a lot of sparks. But like I said, this is also a story that how love can sustain over the years, and it is the same no matter how young, how old, or how famous or not you become in life. So that's my takeaway from your love story. Thank you so much, guys.
That's mine too.
Yeah. Thanks so much, guys, for joining us on TVC, and good luck.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
All right, so we spoke with a young couple who's deeply, madly in love, just got married. We did ageless, timeless love. We also did love in the times of online dating. But all you single people out there, no, we've not forgotten you, because coming up on the other side of TBC, we've got the breakup girl and the love guru. All you singles are gonna love them. So come right back for that. So joining us on TBC next is everybody's favorite, certainly one of my favorite. She remains ageless and how? She remains timeless and how? And if you weren't convinced about it, well, you have to hear her singing Miley Cyrus's latest song that won her a Grammy. Usha Uthup, welcome to TBC. So glad to have you here. Like I said, it is only you can transition from Koi Yahan Nache Nache to Miley Cyrus's Flowers. You have done it for so many decades now. How do you keep it so relevant and keep it so alive?
Well, first of all, let me say it's wonderful to be with you on CBC. Namaskar, namaskaram, sat sri akal, assalamu alaikum. I'm so excited to be with you, what can I say? Because this is such an important thing in my life, really. And I'm sure all of you would agree that, as you said, decades, 54 years of singing some song like Fever, and then California Dreaming, and then, so many songs. And then suddenly you do Miley Cyrus's Flowers. But actually, it's not like that. I've always believed that a song is a song, and it's timeless no matter what. And actually, retro is where it's at now. People all want to hear recall, and in my show list, it's always been that the older songs get more people more energized than the newer ones. Now, Flowers, and of course songs with lyrics, okay? There was a time when I Will Survive was a breakup song for every girl, right? Gloria Gaynor's song. I was on my list, actually. In the batting order, it would have been third or fourth in the show. Then slowly what happened was, newer songs came, or I started singing Dawn 2 because I'd sung in that. Then I'd done Bulea. And of course, Dam Maro Dam and I Love You remain a constant, okay? It's always there. So when my daughter, Anjali told me, she just sent me a recording of what she had done, okay, of Flowers. And I just thought it was such a marvelous piece of song.
Yeah.
That, and she told me that, Amma, why don't you do it as well? So when Anjali told me about this song, I just thought it was such a brilliant piece of lyric, really. I just loved the lyrics. We were right till we weren't. That line just says so many things. Built a home and saw it burn. There are some songs that really give me goosebumps just thinking about the lyric, And then when it says, why do we depend on everybody else to do things for us or make us feel good? And this one is not really a breakup song. It's such a positive song of Nari Shakti, really. Nari Shakti, Stree Shakti, and woman power, really. And on this Valentine's Day, I would definitely say that it's not just for the women, it's for the men as well. Why do we need somebody else to buy us flowers? Why do we need that? Or why do we need someone else to talk to for hours? Why don't we do it with...
Welcome back, and as promised, we've got two back-to-back really great performances for you. I'm not going to take any time. Let's cut across stage to Vanika. She's known as the breakup girl.
Yay!
And let's give her a shout out. Okay, Vanika, Anushka, the floor is yours.
थैंक यू सो मच. सो बेसिकली जैसे उन्होंने बताया कि आई एम कॉल्ड द ब्रेकअप गर्ल, विच इज़ अ टाइटल दैट आई डोंट लाइक बिकॉज आई लव फॉलिंग इन लव. बट मुझे लगता है कि जितनी बार मैं प्यार में पड़ती हूँ उससे ज़्यादा बार मेरा ब्रेकअप हो जाता है. सो इसीलिए आफ्टर अ लॉन्ग रिसर्च मैंने 3 आइडियाज़ निकाले हैं जिससे हम सिंगल लोग हु गो थ्रू हार्ट ब्रेक्स अ लॉट अपनी लव लाइफ को बेटर कर सके. तो सबसे पहले मैं ये बताना चाहती हूँ कि हम इंडियंस ना डेट नहीं करते, हम मोहब्बत करते हैं. और मोहब्बत में टूटता हमारा दिल है लेकिन बिखर हम खुद जाते हैं. और इस बिखरे हुए दिल को समेटने के लिए आज मैं 3 आइडियाज लेकर आई हूँ आपके पास. सबसे पहले, इफ यू वांट टू गेट बैक इनटू द लव गेम, यू नीड टू स्टॉप थिंकिंग अबाउट योर एक्स. इसी के लिए, एंड आई नो इट कैन बी डिफिकल्ट, सो इसी के लिए मेरे पास एक कविता है आपके लिए जो मैं आज आपको सुनाना चाहती हूँ, जिसका नाम है तुम्हारा ख्याल. मैं अक्सर ये सोचती थी कि क्या तुम्हारे जाने के बाद मैं वो सारी चीज़ें कभी भी दोबारा कर पाऊंगी जो हम साथ में किया करते थे. और सच कहूँ तो तब ये सोचना भी दर्दनाक था, लेकिन आज मैं ये सब कर रही हूँ. मैं वो फिल्म अकेले देखती हूँ जिसके किरदारों में हम एक दूसरे को ढूंढा करते थे. मैं उस शहर में रहती हूँ जहाँ पर हमने हमेशा साथ रहने के वादे किए थे. मैं उस गली से गुजरती हूँ जहाँ पर हम एक दूसरे के साथ न जाने कितनी यादें बनाया करते थे. और सच कहूँ तो तुम्हारे बिना सब किया जा सकता है, सब आसान है करना. लेकिन जितना आसान तुम्हारे बिना ये सब करना है ना, उससे कई ज़्यादा मुश्किल है तुम्हारे ख्याल के बिना ये सब करना. मैं जहाँ पर भी जाती हूँ ना, तुम्हारा ख्याल मेरे पीछे पीछे आ ही जाता है. मैं तुम्हारे ख्याल से दूर जाने की कोशिश करती हूँ, उसे बताने की कोशिश करती हूँ कि तुम मुझसे अलग हो, अलग रहो, लेकिन वो फिर भी एक डीठ इंसान की तरह मेरे साथ साथ ही चलता रहता है. तो इसीलिए मैंने तुम्हारे ख्याल से रोककर पूछ लिया कि तुम मेरे पास क्यों आते हो. तो उसने कहा कि जब मैं जन्मा आपसे था दीदी, तो मैं ख़त्म भी आप ही के पास होऊंगा ना. मैं ख्याल उसका हूँ लेकिन मैं आपसे जुड़ा हूँ. इसीलिए मैंने तुम्हारे ख्याल के लिए अपने घर के ड्राइंग रूम में एक सोफ़ा लगा दिया और उसे वहाँ पर आके बैठने को कहा है. मुझे पूरा यकीन है कि एक दिन तुम्हारा ख्याल वहाँ पर बैठे बैठे बोर हो जाएगा, क्योंकि अब मैं उसे इग्नोर नहीं करती हूँ. वहाँ पर बैठे बैठे एक दिन वो बोर हो जाएगा और ख़त्म हो जाएगा. और जब मैं अपना काम कर कर लौटूंगी ना, तो मुझे पूरा यकीन है कि एक दिन तुम्हारा ख्याल मेरे पास नहीं होगा. और मैं उस दिन उस सोफ़ा पर बैठकर उसी शहर में एक फ़िल्म देखूंगी और इस बार मुझे तुम्हारा ख्याल तक नहीं आएगा.
Oh man,
नहीं आएगा ख्याल, नहीं आएगा ख्याल. That was intense. Because we need to stop thinking about our exes, and it can be difficult, but it is possible. I can vouch for that. और दूसरा जो टिप मैं आपको देना चाहती हूँ आज, that is just get back into the market. जाओ, meet people. Because it's so important that you keep meeting people, because recently I went on a date and it was very difficult. क्योंकि मैं जिस इंसान से मिलने गई थी वो वहाँ पे टर्न अप ही नहीं किया. क्योंकि आई डोंट नो, घोस्टिंग इज सो कॉमन दीज डेज. पर पता है, हमारे इंडिया में ना बेवफाई की कमी नहीं है, लेकिन फिर भी वफा उम्मीद की ईंटें लेकर दिल में घर बनाना जानती है. क्योंकि that day when my guy did not turn up, I found another person who came up with a book and a diary, and I was like, oh, you are my person. And इसीलिए I want to give you my third most important tip, which is set your bare minimum. तो अगली बार आओ ना, तो अपने दिल में थोड़ी जगह लेकर आना. मोहब्बत फुर्सत से होती है, अपना थोड़ा वक्त लेकर आना. दिल लगी महंगी है काफ़ी, कर्ज पर ही सही अपने साथ हिम्मत लेकर आना. अगली बार आओ ना, तो मुझे चाहने की चाह से पहले बस खुद को साथ लेकर आना. थैंक यू सोनल.
थैंक यू. माय गॉड, दिल तोड़ भी दिया, होप भी दे दिया, सब कुछ हो गया.
बहुत
Very, very intense. But to break out of the intense is over to you, Siddharth. What have you got for us? Come on.
Hi everyone, hi. Happy Valentine's Day, or I like to call it National Unemployment Day. Also, I like to, ये दिन मेरे लिए बहुत important है क्योंकि बाकी couples को देख के मैं रात को जो सोता हूँ रोते रोते, हमेशा अच्छा feel होता है दोस्तों मेरे को. But I'm very honored to be here today because there's so many comics. But our great host Sonal just wanted one thing, कि get me the most single comic, जिसमें बिल्कुल दर्द भरा हो, जो रोता हो, वैसा आदमी लेके आओ. एंड हियर आई एम, सिद्धार्थ सुधाकर, योर फेवरेट बेस्ट फ्रेंड एंड कॉमेडियन. मैं आपको ये बताना चाहूँगा कि आई रिसेंटली टर्न 30. वील से रिसेंटली इज 2-3 साल. एंड बीइंग सिंगल एट 30 इज a little tough. It's a little tough. Because dating before 30, it was easy. It was like Takeshi Castle. है ना? थोड़ा सा इस तरफ उस तरफ गए, enjoy किया. But after dating, after 30, dating is more like Squid Game. कि कब therapy आए, कब जाए, कब trauma हो, पता नहीं चलता हम लोगों को. But the most intense thing is कि after 30, all my friends are married. And what is the most common thing that married people have? Sonal, what is the most common thing that married people have?
Fights.
Advice. They always have advice. अपनी शादी का उनको पता नहीं है, but बाकी लोगों के लिए उनको सब पता होता है, हमेशा पता होता है. और मैरिड लोग हमेशा मेरे पास आके ना एक ही चीज़ बोलते हैं, सिद्धार्थ, don't worry, there's a lot of fish in the sea. There's a lot of fish in the sea. और मैं उन लोगों को कहना चाहूँगा कि मछुआरे देखें कितने हैं. आपको पता है कितना टफ है. हाँ, सब डेटिंग ऐप पे बैठे हैं कि कुछ मिल जाए, कूड़ा मिल जाए बस. कितना टफ हो चुका है ये. एंड ऐसा नहीं, आई एम नॉट अगेंस्ट डेटिंग, नॉट अगेंस्ट डेटिंग. आई जस्ट फाइंड डेटिंग टू बी वेरी टफ आफ्टर 30. क्योंकि देखो, डेटिंग नो इज़ लाइक वेयरिंग स्पेक्स. मैं आपको समझाता हूँ कैसे. सोनल, कब से लगा है चश्मा आपको? टीनेज. मानिका?
Almost 7-8 years.
7-8 years. दोस्तों, if you have specs or if you don't have specs, I'll let you tell you one thing. कि ना इन चश्मों पे स्क्रैच लगते रहते हैं, right? And you keep getting used to those scratches. And when जब आप नया चश्मा पहनते हो, then you go कि ओह, दुनिया HD में है. मेरे को इन स्क्रैचेस की आदत लग रही थी. और रिश्ते भी ऐसे ही होते हैं. आप एक रिश्ते में रहते हो और आपको पता नहीं चलता आपके साथ बुरा कितना होता रहता है. और जब ब्रेकअप होता है तो तब पता चलता है, ओह, दुनिया एक्चुअली बहुत HD में है. एंड लेट मी टेल यू, फाइनल थिंग बिफोर आई गो इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. ठीक है? और ऐसा नहीं है कि आई हैव नॉट बीन इन रिलेशनशिप्स. ठीक है? It's not that I've not been in relationships. Actually, I just got out of a 3-year-old relationship. Yeah. We reached a stage जहाँ पे हम एक दूसरे से बात करनी पड़ती थी. It's very tough. And we thought कि let's get everything back. Let's get the excitement back. So, we went on a trip because that's the best. We thought we'll get to know each other. And that's the problem. We got to know each other. जैसे मेरे को पता चला, my ex-girlfriend, she loves getting photographed. एंड उसने जब भी बोला मैंने फ़ोटो ली, मैंने कभी मना नहीं किया. हाँ, पीछे स्तूपा है, फ़ोटो ली. पीछे वाटरफॉल है, फ़ोटो ली. पीछे क्राइम हो रहा है, फ़ोटो ली. मैंने कभी मना नहीं किया. द ओनली प्रॉब्लम इज़ मेरी एक्स गर्लफ्रेंड का एक ही पोज था और वो हाइट में भी छोटी थी, तो ऐसा लगता था छोटा सा मग्गा खड़ा है. So thank you so much. That's been my time. My name is Siddharth Sudhakar.
Siddharth, no wonder you've had a breakup after saying all of that. But guys, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us. You can catch them online, go for their shows. I'm told Siddharth has these tickets that he gives out to people. Only if you're single you can attend, only if you're divorced you can attend, if you're in a relationship you can attend. So lots of fun things are happening. So don't spend your time alone at home in case you don't find love today. That's my little wish for you. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you again tomorrow 8 o'clock. Bye-bye. ऐसे कैसे कौन बोलता है?
And there are so many positive feelings in this song that it just became marvelous. So it came onto my repertoire list for the shows about maybe 2 months ago. And whoever thought that she was going to get a Grammy for this, and my rendition would become viral, was really, really thankful and full of gratitude to my followers, and shall I say to my, not followers, to my supporters who've supported my music and loved me as I am.
Loved you, we all love you. And I'm actually loving how it's early in the morning, but you are all in your avatar. I'm loving the red on you like right now. I'm also loving that red bindi. All of this is quite marvelous, like you said. But you've had quite a year, ma'am. You just got the Padma. Your songs are viral. You want to I really want to understand what is your mantra to keeping it relevant, to staying so enthusiastic about life and your love for music, even at this age?
My mantra is to be able to accept that you have to make time your friend, not fight with time. I think if you make time your friend and realize that the youth are the future of our, of our whole life, that without the youth, we're going absolutely nowhere. So I think that focus has to be there. And once you get that focus, that the youth, you are our future, then I think things, the jigsaw puzzle kind of gets neater, and you're not so puzzled anymore. Because I have noticed that even a song like Koi Yahan Aha Nache Nache, which was my song, Dekhte Dekhte, it's already 40 years since that song came.
40,
Or
imagine.
Ramba Ho. So one needs time for something to become a classic. And you can't become a classic just overnight. It's not possible. And so there are certain songs which even great composers like R.D. Burman and all were not appreciated in their time. But today, he's one of the most remixed and remixed, musicians of all time. And I think that is what it's all about. When you realize that and accept that a song is always bigger than the singer. Because the song will keep coming back over and over again if you give it life. Whichever song it is. Like, how can something like, say, Hotel California, or Can't Buy Me Love, or I Can Get No Satisfaction, or all these old songs, how do they, they're all my contemporaries, okay?
So joining us on TBC next is everybody's favorite, certainly one of my favorite. She remains ageless and how, she remains timeless and how. And if you weren't convinced about it, well, you have to hear her singing Miley Cyrus's latest song that won her a Grammy. Usha Uthup, welcome to TBC. So glad to have you here. Like I said, it is only you can transition from Koi Yahan Nache Nache to Miley Cyrus's Flowers. You have done it for so many decades now. How do you keep it so relevant and keep it so alive?
Well, first of all, let me say it's wonderful to be with you on CBC. Namaskar, namaskaram, sat sri akal, salam alaikum. I'm so excited to be with you, what can I say? Because this is such an important thing in my life, really. And I'm sure all of you would agree that, as you said, decades, 54 years of singing some song like Fever, and then California Dreaming, and then Hotel, so many songs. And then suddenly you do Miley Cyrus's Flowers. But actually, it's not like that. I've always believed that a song is a song, and it's timeless no matter what. And actually, retro is where it's at now. People all want to hear recall. And in my show list, it's always been that the older songs get more people more energized than the newer ones. Now, Flowers, and of course, songs with lyrics, okay? There was a time when I Will Survive was a breakup song for every girl, right? Gloria Gaynor's song. I was on my list, actually. In the batting order, it would have been third or fourth in the show.
Good morning, viewers. Hello and welcome to the Morning News Show, where we bring you the latest headlines and insightful stories to kickstart your day. I'm Kuhina Sharma and you are watching CNN News 18. First up, on top of this bulletin, we are tracking some updates from the north side of India, where farmer protest is escalating day by day, and farmers will continue their protest today as well against the centre over various demands by the farmers' organisation. Now, farmers yesterday commenced their Delhi Chalo march amid heavy barricading at Haryana-Punjab border and entry points into the national capital. Now, the police has hurled tear gas shells when protesters marched and tried to break barricades set set up at the Shambhu border in Ambala. A few farmers were detained as well near the Shambhu border. Now, riot control vehicles, including water cannons, have also been deployed at many places around Punjab and Haryana borders. Security in Delhi has also been beefed and intensified with multi-layered barricades, concrete blocks, iron nails and walls of containers at border points. So these are the latest inputs that we've been getting in.
जो हम बात रखना चाह रहे हैं वो भी कोई नई मांग नहीं है, वो सब की सब हमारे साथ की हुई कमिटमेंट था सरकार की, और उन कमिटमेंट के ऊपर सरकार का ध्यान दिलवाने के लिए हमने बार बार डिमांड काट दी है, बार बार इनको अलग अलग माध्यम से पहुंच करने का प्रयास किया, लेकिन सरकार ने आज तक उनके ऊपर कोई किसी तरह की भी सीरियसनेस नहीं दिखाई। और ऐसे हालात में अगर देश का किसान, आज जो सरकार है, ये जो हमारे साथ कमिटमेंट्स होती हैं, ये हमेशा पॉलिटिकल फैसले हुआ करते हैं।
पूरे देश की प्रॉब्लम है एमएसपी गारंटी कानून, पूरे देश की प्रॉब्लम है स्वामीनाथन कमेटी की रिपोर्ट, बिजली अमेंडमेंट बिल, कर्जा, ये सारे इशू हैं। देश में बहुत किसान संगठन है, अलग अलग प्लेटफॉर्म से ये समस्याएं उठती रहेगी, जो भी जाएगा समस्या वही रहेगी। अगर हम कर्नाटक में आज हैं तो यहाँ पे कोकोनट फार्मर्स की अलग प्रॉब्लम आएगी, यहाँ पे पेड़ी के किसान की आएगी, यहाँ पे राइस का किसान होगा या यहाँ पे